In this video, I'm going to create the XML parser. So what does XML parser would do in this application? It would actually parse the XML data into the info of friends array. So I'm going to create the XML parser. There will be like parser XML. I'm going to finish it. And then I'm going to extend the default handle for the parser XML because it would help us while handling the XML data. So extends default handler. It belongs actually to the SAX package. SAX is actually a parser which allows us to read the XML data. It is an alternative to document object model. I'm going to double it, save it, and then I'm going to create a string variable. String user key is equal to new string. So what does it is? It is actually a user key, and we're going to be using this user key later on in this XML file, and then I'm going to tell you that why we are using it. And I'm going to create a reference to the updater class. That is what we have used in here in the interface. So I'm going to create a reference to it. Updater, update, that's it. Press enter, and then we'll create a constructor of the parser XML file. So public, we're gonna parser XML and pass on the updater in this to give it a value. And that's it. And then I'm going to pass on this dot updater is equal to updater. Just going to delete this package, and now we have our updater. Now I'm going to create vectors to store on the information of online, unapproved, unread messages, and number of friends included in that. So I'm going to create a vector and store them all in that. So I paused the video in the meanwhile and wrote all this code for time savage, and I'm going to apply the same kind of procedure for the rest of the stuff. So now let me explain these lines. I have created a vector. The reason I've included the vector class is that because vector, we can add and remove the data, and which means that we can expand and shrink the vector as much as we can as compared to array. Once we put in the data in the array, then we can't expand and shrink it, but vector can be shrinked out and as well as can be expanded. So for that purpose I use the vector instead of array, and then created our friends vector, online friend vector, unapproved friends vector, and unread messages vector from the updater one. I'm going to press enter, and then once again I've created the method of inDocument that throws actually an SAX exception. Now let me explain what it really does and what it can do. I've created an array of info friends, and then also declared it and provided the total friend size plus the online friend size and added it together. The reason I did this, that it will provide us a chance that we're going to be putting all those things, like for example if the friends are online, that would be also counted in friends, and if the friends which are not online, that would also be counted in a friends. So I'm providing a total friend size. For example, if we have 10 friends, and so we're going to be providing that 10 friends in here, and the online friends are actually 3, so 10 plus 3 is equal to 13. So in the friends array of info friends, we got 13 friends. And now I got to create a new updater messages array, which contains actually the unread messages size, that how much unread messages we have and how much size it would have. Now we need to keep a track on of the online friends, that how much online friends we have. So for that purpose I created a variable online friend account, and that is I just put a size of the online friends inside the online friend account variable, and then I put a loop on that and loop through every online friend and put it inside a friend array. And I perform the same step with the offline friends, as I created an offline friend ID here, the variable, and put the friend size in here. The M friends actually belongs to offline friends, so I put on offline friends in here, and then I just actually loop through each and every offline friend and then put it inside the friends variable. That is actually what we have declared in here. Info of friends is actually taking care of all the information of the friends. I also repeated the similar kind of step with the unapproved friends, that how much unapproved friends we have, and I put a size of unapproved friends inside the unapproved friend count, and then performed it and put it inside the info of friends array, just like creating and declaring its instant. And now I then looped through each and every unapproved friends. I'm just gonna scroll to the bottom, and here I just also loop through each unread message by putting and creating a for loop for it, and as you can see it in here. And then I created a logger for it, so that if any error happens I would be familiar with that. And the last option, what I had done is I just update the updated method inside the update data method. I updated it, and I provided the messages, friends, and unapproved friends and user key all to the updater class, so that the updater class would actually update it, that how many unread messages we have, how many offline or online friends we have unapproved, and plus the we're going to be matching it with the user key. So this would actually help us to handle the data of the offline and offline messages.